Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to part 3. For part 3, we actually gonna have our hands on our guitar and actually do something today. But the first thing I want to talk about on all your lap steel guitars and your Fenders and your Gibsons and whatever you got, some of them, like this Rogue, got the open back tuners, but if you look right there, you see there's a screw in there. Now, sometimes if your tuning ain't holding, just get you a Phillips screwdriver and tighten that screw. Now, on a lot of my other guitars, this one don't have them, but right on the closed tuner special, right on the top of the tuning button is a little tuner. That little tuner's also got little white bushings up under. Sometimes if they slip, you need to tune it. Okay, and also your lap steel has got the strings raised way up, as you can see off the neck, so you ain't got to worry about setting the action on it. And that's one good thing about a lap steel. Easiest instrument in the whole wide world to learn to play, people. And I'm not kidding. It was something that I had never tried until several years ago, and that was because of our steel guitar player passing away. And so I picked up the lap steel and started playing the steel parts. Now I've got a pedal steel too, and I've give lessons on it before. Alright, y'all remember me showing you tuner. There it is. Now, when you're tuning it, a lot of people, I watch them, let's see if yeah, that's right. They go like this right here. Well, that's wrong. The way you tune this thing, because you're picking it, it's like that. You want that green light lit up. Alright, see that one's low? That's what I call flat. That is my G sharp, I'm sure, because it's always a booger. Alright, I'm going to put this down and watch my tuner, and I'll bring y'all up here for the G sharp string is right, let me move back right here. So I'm going to show you. Here we go. The G string is flat. So I'm going to tune it. Now watch. Let me get over here. I've got my tuner right here. No, it won't stay there. I'm going to put it on my knee. Anyway. Okay, if y'all don't want, look, I went sharp. See how it's sharp? That's okay. Let me show you a trick. Now, you take your finger, with that sharp G, it needs to be stretched down to a pitch. So I come up here and I push it, because it gets hung up on these nuts. I actually pushed it flat. See that? So, with that being said, I'd rather it be flat than sharp, because sharp you gotta go down in pitch. Sharp. All I gotta do is push it down. Alright, let's see what we got now. That's just right. Now checking the rest of them. Hear how I'm picking it? we got it tuned up, and it's hard to get it perfect. I'll admit that. So anyway, that's the way I tune it, though. I don't sit there and I use a picking method. Just like that. Tune it up. Now, and sometimes I go. Now, you always want to stop the other strings from ringing. Okay, now, I won't tell you something or show you something. Maybe if I think about it, I'll put a chart up on this link. But Amazon sells this right here. You can go up there for about $8. Now, this right here, and I'm looking at it backwards, but it tells you on fret 1, you can see, fret 1, fret 2, fret 3. Alright, you go up here and you can see what, if you was to play across it, it is. It's going to be a F, and of course that one's going to be a F sharp or a G flat, and then that one's going to be a G and a A. No, a D flat or a D. That was a G, D flat, D, A flat or A sharp. I'm looking at it backwards, so I can't tell. A, but anyway, that right there for $8 is worth it if you want to learn your fretboard completely. It's a fretboard map right there. All right, I'm gonna put that up where y'all can see it, and you can go to Amazon. Somebody's selling it, which is pretty cool. All right, now another one. This right here is the Nashville number system, and I'm going to get into that later in the video, but this is something that will help you understand music if you've not studied music. And what it is, it tells you if you play it, and I'm reading it now because I don't know all this without looking at this, but let's say we're going to be playing a song in the key of G. That's a popular key. We can use, and it's right there, key of G, I think it's right there where my finger is. You can see it. A major chord in the key of G is a G, a minor, a B minor, a C, a D, a E minor, and a F sharp. Right there. We can use them in any order to create a song, and you can't go wrong. Okay? So, we're gonna actually start y'all off playing some music now. And what I want y'all to do, I don't know how advanced or where you at, this is for absolute beginners. The first thing we gotta do is learn where some of the notes are. So we're in a tuning of open E. So just open like that is an E. Alright. The most popular song progression that's written is a 1, 4, 5 chord. And then sometimes they slide from 5, 4, 5 back to the 1 chord. So your 1 chord is your E. Now your next chord is your 4 chord in that Nashville number system, which is going to be an A, and that's at your 5th fret. So when you put that bar down, I want you to remember, this is very important. Put your dragging fingers down first, nearby at the same time. Alright, but you're going to put your bar right dead over your fret. That's very important, not behind it. See how much you would be out of tune? If you're playing the guitar, you can place it behind the fret. But we're not mashing the fretboard down or the strings down to the fret. We play it on top of it. So, open E. There's your chord. Open A. There's your chord. Then you're gonna move to the 7th fret. And it's good to practice pausing like that. You pause and then pick. Pick, pick. Alright, pick, pause, pick. Then go. Back, just walk it back. Then we go into the open E, and I like to give it up. See, and you already, by doing that, you've already made a song you could go ahead and sing like. You can pick it any way you want. Also, I'm going to teach y'all later how to do skip stringing. Alright, so, but I want you to learn this part real good. Maybe go right back. And you can start anywhere up the neck you want, but you gotta stop at that A chord on that 5th fret. Simple. Then later on we'll learn to do the G to the C to the D. That's still a 1-4-5 chord. Your G, and you may have to back up, watch the video again, and that's fine. There's some videos out there on lessons on guitar licks and stuff that I've watched 10 times before they'd soak into my old hard head. Let's go to a G. That's going to be your 3rd fret. Now, we're going to come down to the G from the F. You do it with the bass, or you can go. By doing that, all I'm doing is picking strings number 2, and then strings 3. Then I went a whole step on strings 2, and back to the 3rd string. Alright, we got that part down, or you can come in there and use, just do a chord. It don't take but 3 strings to make a chord, so you can use strings 1, 2, and 3. And then we're going down to the C, which is the 8th fret. But we're going to pause at the 5th fret and the 7th fret, and that's an A and a B. Do a whole step up to the D at the 10th fret. What I did right there is, I call it a walk down, but I was on a D, and I hit strings 2 and 3 and alright. See how I pause? Just went from a G, 3rd fret, pause at the 5th and 7th. Then picked at the 8th fret, which is the C. Then went to the D. Then I just went back to the G. And when you're lifting your hand, roll your hand off. That way it don't sound like. You need to try to keep them fingers on that bar and learn how to lift. Alright, so we got that down. Let's try it together. Another thing I did right there, I slid that bar pretty much from the 10th to the 8th fret before I lifted it. That's just a sound effect that you can get on that lap steel. Practice it slow if you have to. See how I did it? It right there, didn't it? All I'm doing is raking across. I hadn't even got into the right hand technique yet. We just strumming. There's gonna be more lessons on the right hand technique. But we're working on your, and here's another pattern. If you're a guitar picker, you know this. You can kind of palm mute with your hand, but go. I put my hand right near about on top of my bridge. G thing. And I'm using that bass string. We'll get into all the picking later, but I want you to learn that part good. And stop on top of the fret. You can give it that for another voice. And I dropped my pick into the guitar just then. Then go back by lifting. this is techniques. And whenever sometimes if your strings get sticking in your nut or start acting up or getting old and start sounding fuzzy, sometimes I'll just take and put a drop of 3-in-1 oil right across there and drop right across there where the strings come over the saddle, where the string comes over the nut at the top. But anyway, get your guitar in tune by. So, I'm going to give you a little bit of a lesson now, and I don't want to make the video too long. This is part 3. We've already got our charts that you need to go get. Also, another important thing, get you a notebook. I've got one. I should have brought it over here to show you. And write down some chords sequence. Like if you playing something like a G. You done that and you thought, wow, I can make a song into it. All that was a G, C, a D, back to a C, D. Simple. Easiest instrument in the world to play. My 9-year-old granddaughter Ashley come in here and I give her one lesson and I picked up my guitar and we learned her to play a then I said go to a D now, slide to the C, back to the D. So, but it takes practice and takes a little bit of thought. So, but the next lesson we'll get into string pinches and skipping. I know a lot of people are wanting to know how to do that. Okay, but I don't want to throw too much at you at one time because it can be overwhelming. I've got people that I'm teaching, and I had the funniest thing happen. I had an old man that was taking lessons from me, and he was from 30 miles away. He drove over here every Wednesday, but he'd bring his wife, and I taught him for 2 or 3 months, and one day he come in and he actually told me that it was the last time we'd see him because they couldn't learn nothing. And then all of a sudden his wife said, can you not play your guitar? And I said, yeah. And she picked it up, and my goodness, she could play the thing just wonderful. And he was the one I was teaching. She was sitting there watching. And it all sunk into her, but he didn't get a grip on it. And she said, yeah, I'm going to go buy a lap steel, start playing at church now. I appreciate you teaching my husband, and I've learned a lot. And she's still following me online and social media, and bless her soul, she's become a wonderful lap steel player. She did play a piano, so she had an understanding of music. Now, people that don't have an understanding of the way music flows, that's where they struggle, and I'll admit it, because I've tried to teach some people that didn't know what a scale was, or a note, or what the do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ta meant in far as frequencies and range. But you know, I was lucky. I took music in school, and I actually started out playing a trumpet in the band, but I took guitar lessons, and I went to people that was playing music on the guitar and asked them, show me a chord, show me a lick, begging for it. And they usually would. Some of them write it down on a napkin and showed me how to play a major or a minor scale. And I'd go home and I'd practice it. And my daddy played a little bit. I passed him pretty quick because he played the basic chords of G, C, and D, and an F, and maybe an E minor and A minor. Okay, so this is part 2. If you like part 2, stick around. You're going to love this is part 3, excuse me. If you like part 3, you're going to love part 4, and we're going to come up with more, and put in the comment if I'm missing something, and I'm sure I am. Please let me know if I skipped a part that you was wanting to learn, because we'll go back and we'll get it done. Alright? Y'all are my people out there that I appreciate. If you're not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. Please give me a thumbs up. A lot of work involved in all this. The rain gone, the tractors just showed up. I need to go out there and check on them. They cutting my hay down today, so it's going to be a wonderful day. I hope you have a wonderful day.